days since thanks. It's been a few days since I uploaded last, and that is partially because I've been in my room crying all day. Not really, but a lot's happened over the past couple days, not just in my personal life, but in hip-hop. And we've had a lot of music come out, too. I don't actually even know what I'm covering in today's playlist video. I have no fucking idea, like at all. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is not a game. So I guess Beyonce and Jay-Z decided that they wanted to make a collab album and release it to the world and to the public with no prior knowledge or reasoning or any kind of warning. And then their fan base decided to say, hey, let's shit on Nas' album because Beyonce and Jay-Z dropped something. And to me, it just feels like an attempt to tell the world, hey, we're good. He's not cheating on me no more. And that's what I really didn't want to hear. I didn't want to hear an album full of, we're good, the cheating happened, but we've moved on. That's kind of what it felt like. When I was listening to the album, one of the first few tracks that I was introduced to was Ape Shit, which isn't a bad track at all, don't get me wrong. I like the beat, I like their flows, very reminiscent of the Migos. I've actually heard that the Migos had quite a bit of influence in the creation of that song. Even Ghost wrote some of Beyonce's lyrics, which to me is strange because I feel like if you're married to one of the best rappers in the game, he would be writing your lyrics, not the Migos. That aside, there are some other joints on there that are a little bit more pleasing in terms of emphasizing Beyonce's R&B and soul kind of artistry that she's been promoting for a large portion of her career. She's also a pop artist, so I'm not expecting anything crazy from her. I did feel like I got more rapping than singing from her. It seems like it's an album that's meant to be a little bit more trendy, a little bit more accessible to the younger demographic. I guess that's just the difference between an artist like Kanye West and Beyonce and Jay-Z. I feel like they appeal to the lowest common denominator with this album, whereas Kanye, I guess he gets excitement out of the younger and the older demographic, people that want to hear what he has to say and also people that want to see how he's going to influence the sound of music further. I mean, that's what people look to Kanye for at this point. Jay-Z's never really been that. I feel like people want his status. They don't necessarily want his art. And this is where I say certain artists can keep up with the times, and then other artists, it just feels like they're doing it because it's the in thing. Don't get me wrong, the album can be enjoyable. I just wasn't trying to hear a therapy session. On their own albums, they were so much more mature and introspective and detailed and, and criticized themselves and others. On this album, it just seems like where the fuck this is what we get when we put Lemonade and 444 together. And I get that those albums were done in a period of their life when they were confused or their marriage at the time was in shambles and in question. But listen to it. Don't listen to it. You're really not missing anything. Next album is NASIR. I enjoyed what I heard. It felt like Nas was mixing fact and fiction on the album a little bit. Some lines I just felt like were a little bit far-fetched to include them in a song that's supposed to be factual, like some of the lines on Not For Radio and other parts of the album that are just kind of up to Nas's interpretation and not just a fact. It's clear that this is not just a personal album for Nas, or else the album cover art wouldn't be what it is. That being the case, I can kind of say that Nas is going for an idea of information in this album to some degree. When you listen to the album more times, you just see that his lyrics are good, but they're not like, wow. Nas is confident on all these tracks as he normally is. I don't really expect that much of a change as far as Nas, what he comes to, what he brings to the table as far as his versatility. So flow switch ups aren't really there. Change in vocal inflection isn't really there. There's not really any melody or any change in Nas' voice when he's handling the hook, like on Simple Things. It's pretty much the same voice the whole album. So if you're not into that, I can see that. But for a guy like me that just enjoys Nas in his element, doing what he's supposed to be doing and kind of just being a prophet, a self-proclaimed prophet, so to speak, I don't mind him talking in this way and not really having that much to differentiate himself from himself, essentially, because if you've been listening to Nas for a minute, you kind of can get this sense that he's kind of set in his ways as a rapper. He's not really going to change.
Top off, drop off, you ain't me, bitch, knock it off.
Off or Knock It Off became one of my favorite songs. It creeped up on me. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know if it's the in the background or J-Rock's voice just being so consistent. Like I said, there's a difference between consistency and repetitive. And I feel like the more and more, like I said, I listen to this track specifically, the more and more it just stays in my head. I found myself walking out of nowhere. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is just in my head. All I kept saying the whole day was, knock it off with a cash. You ain't me, bitch. Knock it off. That was my whole line for like a Saturday and a Sunday, like a whole weekend. And I wasn't even listening to the Nas Pride or the J-Rock album at that moment anymore. If this is as infectious to me, I'd like to recommend it to you, because if I can't get it out of my head, I don't think you should be able to get it out of your head. The J-Rock album Redemption was still pretty good. I liked a good portion of what was on there. I felt like it was lacking a little bit more of its direction. Like J-Rock was kind of trying to mix his story and commercial appeal at the same time. Some of the songs kind of took you out of the element of what I felt like the album was going for, but it was still a pretty good listen in my opinion. J-Rock hard as usual, pause. And he's just giving up the street knowledge, the street information, while saying that he's redeemed himself from falling off basically in life, in business, in music, in personal affairs and everything like that. So I like the album. Is it the greatest thing? No. Is it that entertaining? No. Are there great songs on there? Yes. So I'd recommend it. Check it out. I've been listening to it a couple more times. I still enjoy it. So it is what it is. The new 88 Rising song, I think it has most of the people on their label on it. August 08, Hired Brothers, Rich Brian, Joe G, all to make a really good summer banger. I like the song. It's very melodic, very good singing. Rapping from Rich Brian, I could do without on the song because the vibe of the song is just so happy and bubbly and so just infectious. It gives you a good mood, but I think Brian is cool. I don't like the darkness in his voice at all times. I think he could brighten it up a little bit more. He's young. He's got energy. There's no reason he can't be happy or sound happy on the track. Joji does a good job. August 08 has a new album out too. I need to check that out, but I think he does good on the hook beforehand. It gives you this melody and this rhythm before the track even gets started, so you can actually kind of handle the rapping when you get to it. Yeah, just an enjoyable song. I'm still fucking with it.
I made it onto a groupie. Ooh, and you know my life a movie. Hey, I got shit like Call of Duty. Ooh.
That's a little taste of the XXL freshman freestyles. No, in all honesty, I've enjoyed Ski Mask and Jid. Anybody with any common sense or listens to the music that's been made from the newer artists recently can tell that Jid and Ski Mask, we're gonna have the most entertaining freestyles. It's without a doubt. So I'm waiting for those to finish up, and I'll definitely be who is that? And I'll definitely be giving my thoughts and ranking all of the freestyles, and after the ciphers come out and everything like that, sometime at the end of June, early July, something like that. But Lil Pump came out today. That ain't it, yo. But I don't expect anything from Pump, okay? Calm down. I don't expect anything, but I was still disappointed. Hopefully he does better in the cypher. Most of these guys that don't have that much to offer lyrically seem to have been trying to make songs out of their freestyle, so I'm hoping something good comes out of the cypher. Put some vinyls on this wall too, because it just looks bare over here. It looks bare and boring on that wall. I should have been over there. I regret making this video. Oh, and final news, unfortunately, on XXXTentacion. I've learned a lot more information. That's why that last X video is the last video I'll ever record on XXXTentacion. I'll never make another video about the guy. Sad to see him go like that. And we got a little bit more information when it comes to people involved in his murder being charged. I believe one of the guys' name is Derek D something. Oh, it's Dedrick D Williams. That's the guy's name. He's been charged with first degree. And also XXXTentacion had a child on the way apparently that no one knew about. And I mean, I guess in 20 years or so, maybe when the kid becomes a rapper, maybe I guess that we could celebrate him. It seems odd to announce the child in that way to me, only because it's just me personally. I wasn't I felt like it's information that could have been released like over time, because it felt like the way the childbirth was announced was like XXXTentacion's legacy lives on. I get it. It's just I don't know. Maybe the kid could be like a community. Maybe everybody in the world protect the child. Maybe that could be your way of, you know, still keeping X in your heart. I don't know, but it just seemed a little odd the way it was announced. But rest in peace, XXXTentacion. Rest in peace to me talking about XXXTentacion any further on this channel. Dude was talented. He had a lot of great things to say. He did some things as well, but you know, like I said, he didn't have, you know, he had more life to live than that. And I think we'll leave it on that note. I'm cracking my toes, looking at my Fleet Foxes album up there. I want to listen to that album again. And I guess I'll see y'all later. It's been Shawn C, and I'm out. I think. Yeah, peace. I don't have anything else to say, so you should click out the video right now before it gets weird and I say something I don't mean. I've been way too sexual these past couple, like the past 2 weeks. Yeah, I've been going through it. Like, man. Blowing some backs out and blew up some Twitter DMs. It's not good. I don't give a fuck.